I've been watching this thing play out because honestly, like I've been the one thing that I think is always interesting about people's stories is like it sticks in my head how with the internet being the way that it is, it's sort of impossible to minimize whatever footprint it is to have on society. Like there was this meme I saw a while ago where it was like, if you were living in like the 40s or the 50s and you didn't like your family, you would just straight up move town and like change your name. And there was nothing they could do. You would move one town like 20 minutes away and you were fucking gone forever. Like they would never be able to find you.
Nope.
And like
done. You were gone.
Yep. That just could not happen now. Like there's too many pictures of everyone everywhere and there's fucking security cameras everywhere and your phone tracks you and all this shit. So it would be kind of impossible to pull that off now. Like you would have to move to some other country and live off the grid if you wanted to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. You would literally have to be like hiding yourself.
Yeah. You would have to be
public.
taking like proactive measures to do it. And then even then you could still get fucked.
Yeah. You'd have to like almost kidnap yourself to get away with that kind of thing.
You have to like fake your own death. You have to like make it so that no one's actually like actively looking. Because if someone's actively looking, you're fucked. They're going to find you.
You're fucked. Yep. They're going to find you.
It really made me think, like, you know, back in the Wild West, do you know how easy it would be to rob a bank? Like, it must have been. Like,
yeah, I mean,
you just go.
If I lived back then, I'm sorry, I'd be a big bad.
I know that was like you could just rob people. Like, what are they going to do to stop you? Like, what? Like, the sheriff has a horse. Like,
you can make it off of the scene.
Yeah, if you can just not be there when he shows up, it's just
done.
They're like, hey, didn't you rob this place? No, I'm someone else. Well, fuck. Okay, I guess he's someone else. Like, I can't prove it. Okay, well, fuck. Like, the most prolific bank robbers of the Wild West era had this plan that was not even that hard to come up with. It was like, they rob a bank and then they all get on horses to ride away. And then when the horses get tired, they have strategically placed other horses at exactly the threshold where their horses get tired, and they just have them wait. So then they run there and then get off the horses and switch onto the horses that were waiting that are like not tired. And then there's no way for sheriffs to keep up because now the sheriffs that were chasing them, their horses are too tired to chase them. And it's just curtains. Like, there's nothing they can do. That would not work today with like how cops are. Like, they just call the next fucking department over and be like, yeah, we ran out of gas in our car. You get them. Like, eventually this motherfucker's car is going to run out of gas. And there's, like, nothing you can do about it.
And that's the other thing. Even, like, not even that long ago, like, maybe 20 years ago, you could get away if you had a faster car than the cops. That was it. That was the threshold.
Yeah, when they're doing, like, stock car shit, like, when they were doing, like, bootlegging, like, if your car was just faster than the cops, it didn't matter. Like, it was over. You were gone.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah, you can't get away with shit nowadays.
Yeah. Well, that's what I thought. That's what I thought before I heard this story. This is some modern day Wild West shit. It's hilarious. The last frontier truly is the internet. It's not space. It's the internet. I'm sure we're all familiar with Logan Paul, right?
Sure.
He's back at it again.
He
started off 2023, and let's just say that 2024 might be his year, because this one ain't it.
Oh boy.
So about a year ago, he was running his NFT grind thing, where basically he kept trying to launch different crypto ventures, and I believe this was his third one. And it was called the Crypto Zoo. And the premise is you buy his cryptocurrency, like token, like his coin, and then you use that to buy an NFT of an egg, and then you can play a game that he's developed where you hatch the egg into an animal. And then you buy another egg and hatch that into an animal, and then you can mash the animals together and create weird hybrid animals. And then those hybrid animals will generate more of the token that you used to buy the egg with. So then you kill the animal to claim the tokens and then buy more eggs.
Yeah, that sounds fucking stupid.
Yeah, and the idea is it's a game where you're playing and you like run, you mash the animal together, and then based on how rare it is, it makes more money. So then you can claim it as like the token and then sell it for actual real money. which is like, I mean, there are a bunch of reasons why that wouldn't work, but no one seemed to care. So, like, whatever, fine. The whole thing fucking evaporated on him last year. And just about 2 weeks ago, this YouTube like journalist expose guy called Coffeezilla decided to release a 3-part series on what exactly the fuck happened. And he was very in-depth about it, explaining everything. And this thing was fucking hilarious. Because the scheme was like, it was like, there were 4 people that were like involved in like founding it. And all 4 of them were basically trying to scam everyone else at the same time.
Nice.
It's like, this fell prey to the exact reason why bank robbers did not dominate the Wild West era, is because then you would go back to split up the loot, and then you would all just kill each other, and whoever lives gets to take all the money.
Yeah.
Like, we saw that happen modern day. So it was Logan Paul, his manager Jeff, this one guy named Eddie, and the self-proclaimed crypto king named Jake.
Nice.
It's not Jake Paul, by the way. It's different.
Yeah, just some other dude, yeah.
Yeah, some other dude named Jake that claims to be a crypto guru. And they all get in on this. And this whole thing is a fucking scam, to be honest. Like,
yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah, so immediately it's really shady because this guy, Eddie, who is, I think, one of the developers or whatever, has all these qualifications that make him super, like, fucking awesome to have on this crypto project. Like, he's like, yeah, I graduated from MIT, and then I worked for the CIA, and then I was hired by the Philadelphia Eagles to help them with some sort of computing thing, and I helped them win the Super Bowl, and I was actually so helpful that they gave me a Super Bowl ring. And then Logan Paul's team said, yeah, checks out, fuck it, you're hired. And it turned out he was lying about all that shit.
Wow, who would have thought?
Oh, it's like the guy that made the YouTube video about it, Coffeezilla, was like, yo, MIT, did a guy named Eddie, last name, graduate from here? And they were like, not that we know of. And he was like, hey, Philadelphia Eagles, did Eddie ever work for you? And they went, well, he gave a presentation, but we didn't really like it. We never hired him. So it's like, oh, so you can just, like, lie about it then. Because now, while it is impossible to lie and actually, like, disappear yourself entirely, in terms of, like, you know, the whole, like, oh, if you move city, you know, you're just, no one knows. But now, like, it's not even that big a deal because you just lie and no one checks.
Yeah, because they just think you're not lying.
Yeah, they're like, fuck it. No way he would lie about that, right? Like, there's no shot. And it's like, but he was lying about everything. The fuck? Like,
I think that's the new thing, is now you can scam people because nobody thinks you're scamming them because you can just track who's scamming you.
They're like, oh, he graduated from MIT. Why would he lie about that? That's so easily checkable. And then they didn't check it. And then they just didn't, and he did not even attend. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, it's genius, honestly.
Yeah,
this is a perfect scam.
Yeah. So, obviously, he's running some sort of scam here. Because, you know, he scammed them just to get involved with the project in the first place. So, he's already a scam artist. The other guy, basically, they had this plan where they wanted to do pre-sale for the token, where basically they sell the Zoo token, was what it was called. It was called Zoo. They wanted to sell it before the game launched and before, like, you could actually buy eggs with it. And the reason to do that is, like, investors get it at a super discounted price before it's, like, openly tradable or whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, the problem is the SEC doesn't really like that. Like, they might investigate you if they've got time, and then, you know, they're not super kind to that. So basically, they decided to go with this weird hybrid option where they would put it up on the market but not tell anyone about it. So technically it was openly tradable, but no one would buy it because who cares? It's just some random fucking thing that no one cares about, worth like 10 millionths of a penny. And there's a trillion of them. So, like, why would you buy that? Like, that's clearly, like, not valuable. So they would put it up so there's no pre-sale, but then they would buy up a shit ton of it. Separate from the shit that they all got when they minted it. So they minted it, like they created this token, and then they set aside a bunch for themselves, and then they set it live and told no one about it, and then bought a shit ton of it because it was still dirt cheap. And then like a month or two later, then they're like, hey guys, go check out Logan Paul's new cryptocurrency. And then a bunch of people started buying it. So technically there was no pre-sale, but they're still gaming the market. They're especially gaming the market because then a bunch of their DMs leaked where they were basically saying, hey guys, here's the plan. All of us, we're going to hold until this specific time. And then when you do sell, it can't be more than this amount and it can't affect the market in this much or higher. Which is like kind of illegal to do that because you can't do that. It's illegal.
Yeah.
You can't just collude to control a market like that. The SEC definitely doesn't like that. And all of them were in on it. Like they were all messaging each other that shit. So just in case you try to pretend that Logan Paul did not commit a crime, because I think he dances around the idea that he committed crimes here. I'm pretty sure that is a crime, and he was definitely complicit. I think he was the one that actually sent that message. Like, I think he was the one that laid the ground rules for all the founding investors on how they could and could not sell, which is illegal.
See, that's why you don't text. Yes, we're in like the technological age or whatever of our time, but don't fucking send everything you want to say in a text. This is why we talk in person.
Yeah. So we have Eddie is definitely scamming someone. All of them are sort of like complicit, at least in this scam. You can argue over who really hatched it up, but they're all like participating in it knowingly. Crypto King decides not to be outdone. So they all agreed they're going to buy $100,000 worth of token when they launched it without telling anyone. So they all do that. And hold on a second. Okay, anyway. So the problem is they launch it and everyone buys their 100K worth, except they can see how many wallets own however much money. And they're like, wait a minute, there's only like 4 or 5 of us. Why is there more than 500,000 worth of it bought? Someone bought too much. What the fuck are you doing? And like, no one would say who it was. And that, and they're like, they're like, that's weird. And then the Crypto King guy, I think it was him, is like, hey, that's weird. Some bot just bought a bunch of our token and it tanked the fucking price. Oop. And they're like, well, what the fuck? And he's like, who cares? Don't worry about it. It's just a bot where it's people trading for volume. And they're like, well, wait, hold on. That is kind of concerning. No one said anything, right? No one's supposed to know about this. Why did a bot just decide to buy a bunch of our crypto? And he's like, don't worry about it, man. It's fine. Hint. He was the one that bought too much.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking there.
He ends up buying way more than they agreed upon. And then ends up selling it later down the line in a way that they didn't really approve of. Basically, on the on this timeline somewhere before he sells, he buys way too much, but like everyone else kind of knows. Like everyone else is sort of in on it. They're like, okay, we know that Crypto King, we know that Jake is the one that bought too much. Like by process of elimination, we can tell that it's him.
Yeah. So
they decided to create another token called Zoo with just a different tag. So it looked identical, but it was different. And then they basically just duplicated the whole thing, but blacklisted him and a bunch of his wallets from buying it. So now they all have the right amount, and he has fucking like almost nothing. Because he says that they blacklisted more than 5 of his wallets. Because they were like, oh, it's bots. And he's like pissed because he's like, that's all my fucking shares of this. It was not all of his shares of this, but he was saying that it was. He had more than 5 wallets. He had more than 5 wallets active. But anyway, somewhere along the line, he convinces them to give him those back, like unblacklist them, because he says that he's been scammed because they kind of fucked him out of all of the money, but he fucked them first anyway.
Right.
Because he bought more than they had agreed to, even though, like, agreeing to buy certain amounts is still illegal anyway.
Yeah.
Like, hey guys, let's all buy a certain amount. That's illegal. And then he fucks them over and buys more. And then they're like, well, wait, hold on, we're cutting you off. And then he convinces them to give it back. And then he fucks them again because he sells early. And then he makes like between $6 and $7 million is like reported how well that goes.
Wow.
The game drops and it doesn't fucking work. So they have like, they have this thing where it's like you're supposed to be able to buy eggs with either the zoo token or Ethereum.
Okay.
But apparently the Ethereum one just didn't work, so you could buy eggs, but you couldn't hatch them into things, so you basically did just buy a JPEG.
Nice.
So that's great, and apparently it was just super buggy because all of the developers were not paid, or at least they claimed they weren't paid by Logan Paul.
Oh, that's good.
They're like, yeah, we weren't paid, so we just fucking stopped working for him. It's like, oh, okay. And that's one of the reasons that all of this information even came out is because none of them signed any contracts for getting paid. That's why they didn't have to pay them. But that means they also didn't sign NDAs.
Yeah.
So they're just like, fuck it.
It means they're going to just say everything. Yeah.
Well, some journalist came up to me and asked for the fucking messages, so I just gave them everything. Because why not? The fucker didn't pay me. Fuck that guy. So,
yeah, this is like just a standard case of fucking idiot. Like, how else do you quantify this?
Yeah, and Logan Paul seemed very upset because he, in a bunch of pre-release material, was saying that he had spent like $1 million out of pocket to get this game developed. And in Coffeezilla's investigation, he said the only place that makes sense that cost could have been sunk was one of the developers was not paid, and he said he was owed about $1 million. So he set all of the code to private and basically held it ransom for $1 million. And then Logan Paul like paid it, and then he gave him the code back or whatever.
Nice.
He's going to be important later. So Coffeezilla uploads this video, like it's 3 videos, and they're all he's exposing all this shit. And he's basically saying like it's impossible to even really attribute blame because all of them are fucked. Like all of them were fucking each other at the same time.
Yeah.
So this whole thing fell apart because it's not any one person's fault. It's all of them just trying to backstab each other. And 2 of them made it out with money and the other 2 didn't.
Sure.
So he's going through this, and then Logan Paul decides to respond. And Logan Paul's response is like the worst shit I've ever seen. This
part I know about.
This is the most fucking retarded response
I saw this recently
I've ever seen. This one is real fucking bad. So he uploads this video basically saying Coffeezilla is he's like a gossip channel. He's like Keemstar. He's tried to help with police investigations, but they said they didn't want it, and he does not explain when that happened or any of the details of that. He just says it and expects everyone to just like go look it up. So he does that, and then he's like, yeah, Coffeezilla doesn't even substantiate his evidence. And it's like, meanwhile, he didn't even say what case that was that he was, whatever. So Logan Paul does not ever even bring up that in this investigation, it came out that he was trying to manipulate the price by saying who could buy and who could sell and when they could do that and like how much. He does not bring that up at all. In fact, he doubles down and says the guy investigating him committed a crime. Because in the investigation, in the video, he calls Logan Paul's manager, who was involved in the making this whole crypto thing, and says, hi, I'm calling to request a comment because you have a bunch of former employees here saying that you never paid them. Do you have a comment? And then the guy was like, no comment. And then he was like, well, wait, hold on. That's a pretty big accusation that they're saying that you didn't pay them. You should probably comment on that. I'm trying to get your side of the story. Like, I'm giving you a chance to defend yourself, and you're saying you don't want to. And the guy's like, no, you can't report something that's false. And he's like, yeah, I'm trying to figure out if it's false. That's why I called you. And he says, putting that clip in the video is illegal.
On what grounds?
I guess he's going for, like, he didn't know he was being recorded, but, like, he's fucked either way. Like, there's no way this makes any sense, because I think Coffeezilla is in Texas, which is a one-party consent state for recording on the phone.
Yeah.
And also, that whole, like, first, like, one-party versus two-party consent thing only matters if there's an expectation of privacy. At least that's what I understand the law to be, right? So, like,
yeah, you're right.
No matter what state you're in, you're allowed to film in public because there's no expectation that you're not being filmed, because, like, there's security cameras everywhere and there's people just everywhere watching stuff. So you don't have any expectation that what you're doing in public is, like, you have privacy.
Right.
So I would assume that if a journalist calls you and says, hi, I'm requesting a comment for a thing, there's no expectation.
Yeah, you're on the record.
Yeah, you're obviously being interviewed, right? Like, there's no expectation of privacy if a journalist calls you and says, hi, I'm reporting on this situation. I'm asking you, what do you have to say about the matter? He's not like, hey, I just called you up as friends because I wanted to talk and then secretly recorded him.
Well, no, and that's why like, in movies you hear people go like, is this off the record? Because that's what they're referring to. Like, like, you're on the record, you shit. Like, you got called by a journalist.
Is this
that's
legal?
on?
Is this admissible?
Yeah, is this recordable? Is this on record? Yes, like, it's a recording. You idiot! Like, what do you expect?
Yeah. Yeah. So, like, he's gotten no shot. Like, yeah, obviously this case gets thrown out immediately. That's not criminal at all. Logan Paul seems to insist that it is, though. So he said he's going to sue Coffeezilla.
Of course.
He said he's suing him for it. Which,
I heard about that part.
Fucking good luck with that. There's no shot. Like everything he said in the investigation was, like, alleged. He was like, this is what someone said, which is, like, I think he said he's suing him for defamation too, which is, like, that's going to be fucking impossible to prove because defamation is already, like, so fucking tough.
Well, defamation cases, and this is what I was talking about with my girlfriend, was if you can't prove it, then you could be tried for defamation.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think that's true. Like, on the grounds that you now
accusing
have...
somebody of defamation is by itself defamation.
It's defamatory?
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, so he's saying that Coffeezilla defamed him because he went and interviewed a bunch of former employees and said, here's what the former employees have said. Now, that by itself, already you can't get defamation there because he's saying that it's like, it's not true. And it's like, you can argue that what the employees is saying is not true, but that's not what he said. Coffeezilla said the employees said that, which is true. The employees definitely said it. Whether it's true or not is not even part of the question. He's reporting on hearsay, which is, like, nearly impossible to, like, nail him down for. There's no way.
What he did there was fuck up and then try to save face like an idiot.
Yeah.
I'll never understand how this fucking moron got in the limelight. He literally has always just been a fucking moron.
No. Here's the funny part. Here's what I think is interesting about this that no one else is talking about. I've seen people, like, going like, "Oh, this is weird." I think I finally put together a puzzle piece faster than everyone else, and I'm going to be able to upload it before anyone else. I saw another person reacting to this, and basically they said, "Isn't it weird that the two guys that scammed Logan Paul out of millions of dollars by pretending to have all of these credentials and then buying way more of the token, like, they both made, like, millions of dollars off of that. allegedly. He's not suing either of them. He's suing the guy that made the investigation about it.
Yeah.
So
like literally, this guy's just a fucking idiot.
No, that is a calculated move. Clearly, the between $8 and $10 million roughly that he lost is nothing to him in comparison the damage that Coffeezilla is doing to his brand. The damage that this expose does to his brand is worth way more to him than $10 million.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because he's not suing the other two guys. He said that the one guy that faked all of his qualifications is under investigation by someone for something, but he couldn't elaborate. But Crypto King is just $6 million richer, and everyone goes oh, I won't trust him. It's he just made $6 million though. Who fucking cares? Okay. Sick. He was already known to be shady before that anyway. That's not going to stop him from scamming people. You would think that people wouldn't be dumb enough to get scammed by guys that are obviously shady, but people lost hundreds of thousands of dollars to Logan Paul NFTs.
Yeah.
There is no, okay, now this guy is untrustworthy enough that no one will buy from him. Who the fuck thought a Logan Paul NFT was a secure investment?
It's got to just be people who interact with this dude who get deluded by his own self-delusion. It's got to be moron by association.
Yeah, it might be. Dude, I don't know. See, that was the thing where I was none of this makes sense until I realized, wait a minute, he's just protecting his brand. He was wait a minute, me being robbed for $10 million, I sleep. Someone is defaming my brand? Real shit. That was what actually fucking set him off. And he's attacking him in these ways that don't make any fucking sense. But he's sort of compelled to, because otherwise, then he just has to let it exist. Whereas, I think the smart move is just, don't respond to it at all. Because now he's made this way more... He's, signal boosted this a lot by responding to it and responding to it poorly.
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
My favorite defense, though, in his response video, this is gold. This is some truly 4D chess. In the video, Coffeezilla is talking about that developer that ran off with the code and demanded the $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
In Logan Paul's response, he said that Coffeezilla should have made it known that the developer in question has a criminal record, and that should have been made known to the audience of the investigation because he might not be trustworthy.
Actually, he's right.
He would be if he hadn't hired that motherfucker to make his NFT scam.
Oh.
I agree. It's hey, if you keep the source anonymous, but he's kind of shady, then it's all right, then you have a problem with his testimony. Except it's if you knew he was a fucking former felon, why did you hire him to make your fucking NFT game?
Yeah, that's true.
What? Huh? If he's so shady and not trustworthy, why did you hire him?
Well, because America always likes to believe in second chances. You should know that.
Sure, but then you can't be the guy that's I believe he gets a second chance. Oh, he was shady. You can't just throw his testimony. It's you believed him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not they had really done their research thoroughly on this guy and decided, you know what, he's reformed. Because that fucking Eddie guy just lied through his fucking teeth about everything, and they just went, you're hired.
Yeah.
So it's clearly not they gave this guy a fair shake. It was fuck it, he's saying all the right buzzwords, hire him.
Yeah, that must be what the interview process is.
Yeah, they're fuck it, do you know what a blockchain is? And he's a blockchain is when a chain is made out of square links. And they went, sounds good.
Yeah, and where do I meet these people, dude? Because I could totally scam my way through life if I met stupid enough people.
Exactly. Like, how do people with this amount of money have this fucking low IQ? I don't understand. You have that amount of money, and he's surrounded himself with only exclusively scam artists? Like, every single person involved in this is a fucking scam artist, if he's to be believed. And he's the one that fucking created it.
Yeah, this is like entirely your fault. Like, how do you do that?
He was like, dude, I got scammed. They ran off with my money. I lost like $10 million. How are you saying that, I'm not the victim here? And it's like, because you hired all of the people that scammed you, you fucking moron. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, not only did you hire them, but you hired them without looking into them, and it was very obvious that they were scam artists.
Yeah, it's like, if you just did like a basic fucking background check on that one guy, they'd be like, yeah, this guy, it's like all red flags. The fuck? This guy is clearly problems. Crypto King was known for being shady before this whole thing even started. And you said the guy you hired had a fucking criminal record, and that was your lead developer. And then you didn't fucking pay him. And then he's like, yeah, Coffeezilla's lying about me. I'm going to sue him. Like, what?
Million IQ.
Yes, exactly. Big fucking brain moment. Like, it's so...
This dude sees the universe in a way that none of us possibly could.
His goals are beyond our comprehension.
This man must be living in 4D. Like, he just knows that this dumbass decision is going to make him $4.3 billion in 10 years, so he's doing it.
Yeah, he must.
That's what it is.
He got visited by 3 ghosts last night. And they were like, Logan, you have to hire a bunch of scam artists and criminals to make your NFT thing. I know this is your third thing, and every time before it's been a scam or it's failed. But this is the one, and you need to hire the most suspect people on the planet.
Because right after that, geniuses are going to help you.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes, exactly. After this, dude, it's going to be smooth sailing. Like, oh my fucking God. Like, dude, don't let anyone ever tell you that, like, the internet is not the frontier right now. That is some fucking Wild West justice that just happened. Like, he had assembled this whole gang of fucking scammers to put together the ultimate scam. And they all backstabbed each other. Yeah, and then they all backstabbed each other, and he got left holding the bag, and then he was complaining that someone was like, what an idiot.
Yeah.
And he's like, how dare you say that I scammed people? I didn't even make the money. It's like if he was an old-timey Wild West bank robbing crew, and he robbed the bank, and then as soon as they got out of town, fucking
They shot him.
Yeah, Crypto King and Eddie shot him in the back and made off with the loot, and he like survived. And he's like, I didn't even rob the bank. I didn't get any of the money. I'm like, yeah, but you still took the money at gunpoint, you fucking retard. Like,
yeah, seriously. They shot him in the foot, so that's what happened.
It's still a robbery. Like, it wasn't a scam. I didn't make money. Yeah, you got scammed after you scammed people.
Here's what happened. Here's a Wild West comparison. I got it. They robbed the bank, right? And instead of killing him, they just found him so annoying they shot him in the foot and left him in the middle of the town.
They just left him.
That's what happened.
They're like, all right, Logan, look. You're going to use your charisma and charm to charm your way into the vault and steal all the money, okay? And we'll wait here. And he's like, all right, guys, got it. And then he fucking sneaks in and steals the money and comes out. And then they just sucker punch him and take it. And then the cops show up and they're like, what the fuck? Why'd you rob the bank? And he goes, rob the bank? Oh, Sheriff, they just robbed me. That was my money. Finders keepers, motherfucker. Like,
yeah, that's
that's not how this works.
Finders keepers.
Yeah, finders keepers. That's mine. You can't take that. I stole that. You can't take it.
You can't take it from me.
I fairly stole that. Like,
No, but that is true, though. If you steal something fair and square, how dare you steal it from
Exactly,
me?
dude. What a bunch of scumbags, man. No honor among thieves? Since when? Oh, it's so fucking good. And then, like, part of his complaint is that Coffeezilla hadn't, like, reached out for comment hard enough.
Yeah, of course.
He's like, oh, yeah, well, instead of, making this investigation, you could have just reached out to me at some point over the year. And he's like, yeah, he didn't even try. He reached out to my manager twice, and my manager left him on red. And then Coffeezilla's like, I messaged you on Instagram, like, months ago. And then I finally resorted to emailing you at your fucking business email for comment after the first video went up because I'm blocked on Twitter because you didn't fucking respond to my DM because you blocked me. Like, he tried to reach out for comment and you blocked him and left him on red. Like, he made a fucking solid effort.
Yeah, you can't really.
You can't be like, oh,
you really unprove that.
Like, well, I mean, he did though. He's like, look, here's the Instagram message I sent you. I didn't DM you on Twitter because I can't. And I messaged your fucking, like, manager and he didn't say shit. He read it and then didn't reply. And then he called him and he said, no comment. Like, okay. Well, I mean, fuck, that's good enough for me.
Huh.
Yeah, so Logan Paul has been going through it recently, I guess.
Sounds like it.
God damn, dude. That's the kind of thing, like, it was so funny seeing, because at the end of the, like, 3-part investigation thing, he just let a bunch of the people that lost a bunch of money on there, like, say their piece or whatever. And it was so funny, because I was like, these are all, like, adults. Like, it's not children, like, it's adults. How did you
get like, this is real.
Like, Logan Paul was like, yo, I'm launching NFTs. And they were like, have $300,000. And then they were like, what the fuck? My money's gone.
Yeah, people do the craziest things.
Yeah, like, dude, if you don't succeed in the 21st century, it's your fault.
Yeah,
it's
kind of.
It's your fault. If Logan Paul can still be a successful fucking snake oil salesman, considering the reputation that he has, like, anyone can.
Yeah.
And especially, and it's in crypto, like the thing that is known for scams right now.
Well, I think half of making it in the world is having a reputation. So if you have a reputation, like, you're known, people are just going to come to you, like, because you're known. That's all it takes.
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious. It's like, dude, the Logan Paul brand should not be associated with anything positive. Like, he's been trying so hard to rehabilitate it. And, like, I guess it worked a little bit, and that's why he's so pissed about the Coffeezilla video. Like, he's not pissed about the 10 million. He'll make it back in, like, a week anyway. He doesn't fucking care. It's the reputation that he needs to make the money.
Right.
That's what I think is interesting about this.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Because I haven't seen anyone else bring that up. I saw someone that was like, yeah, why would he sue Coffeezilla but not the guys that actually stole money from him? It's like, because he doesn't care about the money, he cares about the reputation, because the reputation makes way more money than $10 million does.
Yeah.
So, I don't fucking know. I was just watching through that earlier, and I couldn't fucking believe it, because I had been thinking about that whole, like, dude, scams are, like, kind of dead, because, you know, everyone is just so fucking primed to be, like, anti, like, getting scammed now. No, not at all. Scams are alive and well.
What?
In fact,
I bet you
they're better than ever.
I bet you that if I pretended not to be like a Nigerian prince, but I pretended to be like, I don't know, like a state senator or some stupid shit.
Oh my God.
And sent a properly worded email out, I could scam people out of money all day.
Oh, for sure, dude. Just say you're the fucking, like, you're like a governor of a state that's like kind of obscure. Like, no one would know who that state's governor is because they don't do shit. Like, who the fuck is the governor of Hawaii?
So they have one.
Like, you gotta be more ubiquitous because you know, like at least Hawaii's like Hawaii. Like,
yeah, I guess
Hawaii's like that a tropical state. You gotta pick like,
in my head. Yeah, you can go like Idaho.
Hey, I was gonna say like Oklahoma or Idaho. You gotta pick something like goofy.
I'm the state rep for fucking Indiana. Like, that's not even really a prestigious position. Like, you probably could just say that. And like, who would challenge you on it?
Yeah.
They'd be like, oh, I mean, why would you lie about that? That's not even like a high tier lie. Like, you can't go around claiming to be the fucking president, but like the state rep of Idaho or of Indiana, you could probably pull that off. Like,
yeah, I bet you I could get people scammed out of their money in their email.
Yeah.
Just by like pretending to be that person and having my email picture be them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Like, dude, let that be a fucking lesson, man. Choose to learn something from this. If you can't make money in the 21st century, you are fucking up.
Yeah.
Like, dude, oh, fuck. Like, we have so many jobs now that provide fucking nothing. Like, there's no value being created at all, and people are living well off of them. It's so fucking... It would be annoying if it wasn't so fucking awe-inspiring.
Yeah.
Like, dude, people make a living off of drop shipping.
What even is that?
So drop shipping is where you go on like AliExpress or something, like basically a website that would ship something from China that gets mass produced. Yeah. You buy it for dirt cheap, spend a ton of money on advertising it like it's this really cool thing, and then mark up the shit out of it. And pretend like you made it.
And people fall for that?
All the time.
Huh.
Yeah. And that's like, well, because most people see the ad and they go, oh, that's cool. I guess I'll buy it. And they're like, oh, it's like $20, whatever. And like, little do they know, that person didn't
make 2 cents.
Yeah. They didn't make it. They bought it in bulk for 2 cents a piece in a pack of 100 from China. And they didn't even ship it to their house. Then they just bought one from the fucking manufacturer and sent it to you directly. They basically just filled out the application for this thing that's super easy to buy. Like, with your details, and then they scalped you fucking, like...
Oh my god, you could do that.
$19.80 for them. Like, and then they just pay shipping. Or you get them to pay shipping. Even better. Fucking insult to injury. You got drop shipped and you pay the shipping.
No. This is what you do. You list the item as on sale from $20 to $5 with $15 shipping, and then buy the item from somewhere else for $2. That's what you do.
Yup. Dude, I'm sure that's exactly what they've been doing. And like, people make money off of it. Like, it's not like enough that you'll be fucking set for life, but like, they can rent with it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're living. You're living your life off.
What are you adding? Like, you've added nothing to this equation. Like, you didn't make the product. You didn't, I mean, I guess you marketed it kind of, but not on behalf of the people that made it.
Yeah, you marketed it at a 90% fucking profit margin for yourself.
Yeah, you marketed it for yourself, not for the people that made it. You didn't contribute value to them. You bought it from market rate from them.
Well, no, actually, you did contribute to them because their sales went up.
Well, sort of, but
like their thing as a company, their company is moving forward because they're making sales.
Sort of.
You haven't done anything because you don't have a company. Like,
only in a small part though, because the thing was already made. It's not made to order. It's like they already made bulk a bunch of these fucking things and they just have them laying around in a warehouse.
No, you're right, but like,
so like
they did advertise for that company.
A very small amount, but people aren't buying from the company.
No, they're not. But when that thing breaks and your ad has gone away because it's been 7 months and you don't need it anymore, they can now buy it from the company for $2. So you did advertise that company in a way.
Yeah, dropshippers
like,
don't really
long term
customers. That's true.
All you did was advertise that company in a small way.
Yeah, sort of. But like the return on value added makes no fucking sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Like you are getting way more out of this equation than you have added to it. It's theft. Like, let's be honest.
No, that is absolutely just that.
Yeah, that's just fucking.
At the end of the day,
you're parting suckers from their money. Just like,
well, you know what? That's what stores are. That's what stores are. If you look at it,
I mean, they're more honest about it, but yeah.
Oh my God, the whole economy is a scam.
Yeah.
That's what we just figured out.
Yeah, basically, the only thing that isn't a scam is you have something I want, and then I hit you with a big rock and take it. That's the only thing that isn't a scam.
Yeah.
That is completely honest from everyone involved. You have a thing I want. Whack! It's mine. Now it belongs to me until a bigger, taller guy with a bigger rock comes and takes it from
me. Yeah.
Exactly.
See, but that's the thing. All you have to do is give yourself a reputation. Like, if you go around whacking everybody's going to stay away from you.
Yeah.
Therefore, nobody will whack. Like, that's all you have to do.
Then it becomes profitable to just sneak up and whack this guy when he's not ready in a team of 5. And then you all divvy up the loot 5 ways. And then one of you decides to start whacking those guys and start taking their shares. And now we're right back where we started.
Yep.
You know, I'm starting to think maybe the problem isn't the economy being predicated on scams. It's just human nature being that we like scamming each other. We're just fucking terrible. Like,
and it's so funny because, like, I don't think that way. Like, in general, I'm not. My innate nature isn't to scam people.
Yeah.
I wish it was because I would do better.
Yeah, exactly. Same. It's like, man, if I didn't have all these fucking morals and shit, I'd be doing so much better, man. If I didn't have this fucking conscience, you guys would be fucked.
Yeah, seriously.
You would be.
No, like, seriously, if I was a little more of a jackass, like, you don't even understand.
It wouldn't take much.
Yeah, exactly. Like, fuck, man. God damn it.
Well, guys, we figured it out.
Yeah, then we got to the bottom of human nature there. Thank you, Logan Paul. I appreciate it, bud.
No, you know what? This was a freeing conversation. I needed this.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I think the last time I was talking about Logan Paul on a podcast, it was favorable too. That's how you know I'm not like biased against him. I think the last time it was like he actually came out of some situation looking good for some reason, and I was like, man, finally, Logan Paul turned it all around. He doesn't look like a total fucking scumbag now. And here we are. He blew it.
Yeah.
Fuck, what situation was it even? Because I remember making a thumbnail where it was him like crucified. I can't fucking. Oh, I'm gonna have to go back and check. But dude, it is so hard in my brain, like sifting through all the files I have on Logan Paul, finding one where he doesn't look bad. Yeah, fuck, I can't remember. I don't know. I'll check later. I'll get back to you on that.
I can't believe that that's what we just figured out from this whole time.
Yeah.
Like, that's where this episode went.
Yeah,
we figured out human nature.
Yeah, I had 2 big things for us to talk about. It was Logan Paul and Pornhub, and we ended up here.
We ended up figuring out human nature is that we suck.
Yeah.
Like, without a doubt. Like, there's no other way of... The economy is built to be shitty.
Yeah.
To each other. Like, that is the entire
base. It's not the economy's
basis.
fault, because if you get rid of it, everyone is still being shitty to each other.
Yep.
The economy
is
systemized
human nature.
They just made it now. It's an apparatus to do it.
Yeah.
And if you look at it like that, it makes it even more amazing that people are losing money on crypto. Just don't fucking invest in it. If you don't know if you don't understand, just don't fucking put money into it, especially a lot. Like the people that are putting their money into it, they're like, I just put a casual $250,000 in and I don't know where the fuck it went. Now I'm mad. It's like, why were you so fucking quick to invest that money in something you didn't understand? That's a lot of money.
Really, it is. Like that's no small sum.
You can't just drop $250,000 in something that you don't get. How much money do you fucking have? And they're like, it ruined me. And it's
I haven't received that amount of money in my lifetime at 20. Like, and people have pissed it away.
Yeah, dude, neither have I. I'm not even fucking close to that. I'm 21. I'm not even fucking close to there.
I'm about a third of the way there.
I'm not even a third of the way there.
I might actually be 50%. I'm not sure. I don't remember what I made the past couple of years entirely. Like, I don't have numbers memorized. Yeah.
So let this podcast be the evidence. If we ever start shilling NFTs, do not fucking buy them.
Yeah.
Do not fucking buy them. We are scamming you. Don't do it.
No, but here's the thing. We're not just scamming you. The entire system is all the time.
But I can say definitively, if I get on a podcast and I go, guys, I have a very amazing business opportunity for you. This is not financial advice. This shit is going to the moon, all right? You got to buy these pictures of fucking stupid monkeys that I've been photoshopping, okay? You got to, all right? It's the next big thing. Know that I'm lying through my teeth. I'm lying to you. I want your money. That's the only reason I would say I do not believe in it. I am going to rug pull the shit out of you on this. Like, if I'm ever advertising crypto, know that it's a scam. Not like a coin, not like an exchange. But like my own crypto project. If I'm advertising like, oh, it's a thing that lets you buy crypto, that's one thing.
And on that note, introduce.
Yeah, exactly. Like I've seen ads for that and I'm like, okay, that makes sense because it's just like a fucking index. Like, okay, I mean, you're not really scamming if you're advertising an index. But like, if I come at you with some fucking buy my shit coin I just minted 3 trillion of and I own half the stock, like, don't do it. Don't fucking do it.
Oh, man.
God damn, man. Even having said that, people are dumb enough that I could probably still get some.
Yeah.
It's still doable. You can say the most suspect shit ever.
Like, someone would still think, well, they're doing that.
Fucking everyone was laughing hysterically a couple weeks ago because they found out that Sam Bankman-Fried like basically admitted on a podcast that he was doing a Ponzi scheme way before FTX fell apart. Mm-hmm. And like no one gave a fuck at the time. They're like, so Sam, how does your business model work? And he was like, so basically I take the money and put it in a box and then more money comes out. And they're like, that's a Ponzi scheme that you just described. And he was like, uh-huh. And they were like, oh, he's such a character. And then he lost like $26 billion. Such a character. They're like, man, what a goof. And then he fucking did that. Like,
oh man.
Man, what a fucking guy.